Good evening. It's been a cloudy day across the Big Bend region today, and it's kind of a predecessor of what's to come. It's going to be a rainy day tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
And I'm student meteorologist Melanie Steinberg. So usually when a cold front passes, we're used to the high pressure coming in, used to seeing clear conditions, cooler temperatures, but that's not the case.
Temperatures have been pretty steady today in the upper 40s to mid 50s all across the region. Those clouds really holding those temperatures pretty steady.
Yeah, we saw a couple of drizzles in the morning, but the big story is going to be the rain for tomorrow. The rain and those colder temperatures.
Yeah, there's another low pressure system moving into the region during the afternoon hours tomorrow. Could bring upwards of 2 inches of rain in some spots.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant amount of rain, so just be ready for that.
Yeah, not a whole lot of severe weather to talk about, but there is a lightning aspect to this one that we didn't have with this past one.
How is the lightning going to impact us?
Well, we're going to have thunderstorms with this one. Our models are starting to show a line of thunderstorms, something we didn't see with that last one coming through tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. But really the main story on this one is going to be all that rainfall.
Okay, so if you do have later classes, make sure you are prepared for that. You don't want to get stuck outside or stranded in class without that umbrella.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be an umbrella day. It's also going to be a boots kind of day because you're going to be splashing a lot of those puddles on the way to class tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those dreary days. We'll talk about that, though, more later in the show. Right now, we're going to take it to an overview with Shane.
Thanks, guys. Yep, the umbrellas, raincoats, and boots are going to be a must tomorrow, but fortunately that wasn't the case today. We did have building clouds and a few spotty showers today across the Big Bend, but the real deal with the rain is going to be coming in tomorrow. That's these building clouds moving steadily eastward across the southeastern U.S. That's going to be drenching us tomorrow. Here are the headlines we've got for you tonight. The rain will be moving in on Wednesday tomorrow. We're going to have a decrease in temperatures along with that as the colder air moves in behind this front, and a warmer weekend will follow after that once we get past this chilly and moist event. Tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to get down to 25 degrees. We're calling for a 20% chance of rain with the rainfall building tomorrow, where we're only going to climb up to 58 degrees tomorrow afternoon, 90% chance of rain. So underneath that raincoat, you might want to have a warmer coat to help you stay warm as it gets chilly out there. Back to you at the desk, guys.
One of those jackets was in Dallas yesterday. They had a lot of ice and even a few snowflakes in the Dallas metro last night. And temperatures were steady through the 20s and maybe even the 30s in some parts of central Texas last night. But that ice really accumulated.
Yeah, I know they had to shut down some of the major roads, but unfortunately there were 16 wrecks and 12 injuries, so they didn't shut down the roads fast enough because there was a lot of ice.
Yeah, on Interstate 45, they had an overturned semi, and because of all that ice, the truck actually stuck to the guardrails.
Wow.
And they actually had to wait about 24 hours before they can get the sand and the salt, the things we normally think of for the roadways, to get that truck up off of that guardrail.
Yeah, thankfully we're not seeing any of those conditions down here because we'd have to handle that pretty bad.
Yeah, and that storm is moving on towards the east. We're going to be talking about Little Rock, Memphis, Huntsville again for some of that ice and the snowflakes again. And it's going to bring in that rain tomorrow here in the Big Bend region. But Jay, we're going to talk about more in a local detail here.
We are going to talk about a little more of a local detail, but first let's get to the rain. It's been lightly raining all across the Panhandle today with 52 degrees. It's going to get a little bit more colder with a cold front making its way on through Wednesday into Thursday, but I'll get a little bit more into that in just a bit. Current temperatures, you're seeing 52 in Tallahassee, 55 in St. Mark's, you're seeing 50 in Quincy. It's quite a cool down. You're seeing lower 50s for today, and you're going to see lower temperatures going into tomorrow as well as Wednesday, as Thursday. For satellite radar, you're seeing a couple showers coming across the Panhandle right now, but you're going to see a lot more rain coming to the area. We're expecting to see anywhere from almost an inch of rain tomorrow. So it's going to be some rainfall. So make sure you have the ponchos and umbrellas handy if you have to go out anytime tomorrow. And with the cold front coming in, you're going to see a lot more winds coming in as well. You're seeing winds 6 miles per hour in Tallahassee, as well as 5 miles per hour in Quincy and 4 in St. Mark's. So it's not as windy as we thought it was going to be because of the cold front coming in, but that may later on be expected into Wednesday. Severe weather threat, the marginal threat right now is in Tallahassee because the low is coming from the Gulf, coming up to all our region. So the main threat is going to be localized high winds as well as heavy rainfall in some areas as well. We're going to see overcast skies for Tuesday as we saw for Monday as well. But when we go into Wednesday, rain does start making its way into the picture for Wednesday and starts sliding in through the Tallahassee on Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. So that's why we're seeing more heavy rainfall for Wednesday night Thursday, the clouds will clear out a little bit more, so we're going to see the night prettier skies for Thursday, and it's the weekend as well. It's going to be nice sunny skies for the bigger picture on Thursday into Friday. Morning forecast, we're going to see smooth waters in the morning, but it's going to be really, really rough later on into Wednesday, so make sure if you don't have to go outside on the boat, do not do that because, again, it's going to be quite rocky on the waters. And for tonight's forecast, you're going to see 45 degrees, increasing clouds. Rain will be moving in for tomorrow, so if you want to go out tonight into the late hours, make sure you have the ponchos and rain boots handy. Okay, it will be quite a wet one going tonight and into tomorrow as well. Mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be wet and chilly. 50 degrees. There is a high expectancy of rain, so like I said before, make sure you have the ponchos and raincoats handy because it will be quite a wet one across the capital city. For the weekend ahead, we are seeing high ranges for Wednesday into Thursday. We will be clearing out Friday into Saturday, and for the rest of the week, you are seeing a lot more sunnier skies. Temperatures do skyrocket down between Thursday into Friday, but later on in the week, we are seeing the temperature rise back up into Sunday and into Monday as well, with temperatures going back up to 70. So no, a lot of us have classes into next week. You're seeing a lot more sunnier skies in the picture and a lot as warmer temperatures. But a little more about what's happening with a little more of the low front, as well as some of the associated threats with that. Let's take over to Shane.
I personally am looking very forward to this sunshine ahead next week, but to get there, we've got to get through some cooler and wetter conditions. Check out this rainbow of a temperature map from 81 degrees down there in Miami with 68 in Orlando, 52 in Tallahassee, and then those temperatures drop right off where that cold front has swept through. 39 in Tupelo. That's where they're really breaking out the jackets now, where that cold air is really beginning to make its presence known. And let's check out the winds. They really explain this situation very well. These winds out of the north to the north of the cold front, they're responsible for pushing all that cool Arctic air in from the north. And then down to the south, their winds are out of the west, and from the east, they're pushing all that Gulf moisture onshore, keeping it a lot warmer down there around Miami, south on the peninsula. But along with the warmth, they've also got the moisture. Dry air is predominantly following the cold front right now, with dew points way down near 18 in Tupelo. We're hovering at about 46 here in Tallahassee, and where those dew points get higher, 61 down there in Miami, that's where there's a lot of moisture right now with all this system beginning to move across the region. And it's not just rain. We've got snow to talk about as well there on the northeastern fringes of our southeastern region here near Wilmington in North Carolina there. That system is making its way offshore right now, but the big playmaker is coming in from the west, and that's going to be bringing us our very rainy day tomorrow, as well as a chance of some wintry action up to our north. These bright pinks across northern Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia, those are winter storm warnings, and that is a result of this massive winter weather system moving into the region. Winter weather advisories there in purple on the fringes, and we're going to be getting to those more in our winter weather segments later in the show. But here's that playmaker, that low pressure system moving its way steadily eastward and really soaking us tomorrow. It's going to be an all-day event from dawn until dusk. So make sure you have your ponchos ready, your umbrellas. We're all going to be needing them. And then once that finally gets out of here, those sunny days we're looking forward to, we'll be following once that system gets out of our hair. But for tonight, 34 degrees in Montgomery, still sub-freezing to the north, 25 degrees in Tupelo, warming gradually to a bitter 45 degrees tomorrow there. We're not too much better here in Tallahassee at 61 degrees, 69 in Orlando, and Miami hanging in toasty at 82 degrees. Wish I was down there. I bet they do at the desk as well.
A lot of those people up in Huntsville over towards Meridian, Mississippi are really being bothered by that cold. But up north, they love that cold. We're talking about ski resorts up north. A lot of places have had between 10 and 15 feet of snow. That's keeping all of those ski resorts open up there.
Yeah, so I'm sure of all the people that love skiing, snowboarding, they're really happy about seeing all this snow.
Yeah, pinpointing one of those ski resorts, Killington Ski Resort up in Vermont has had 170 inches of snow. That's 14 feet of snow. They are 100% open, and they're almost to the record high snowfall up there already, and their ski resort stays open through May usually.
Yeah, they're usually 100% open, so it's always a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of those places up there now we have, the lakes are starting to freeze over, so some of that snowfall is going to taper off, but there's plenty of more winter to come up there.
Have you ever been skiing before?
I have. I actually used to live in New York, so I had my fair experience with the winter weather up there.
All right, that's good. Now we're going to take a look at some more winter weather in our national news with Casey.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's get right into this. And as we see current temperature-wise right now across our nation, we're seeing cool temperatures, but not as cool as we've been seeing over the past couple weeks. Some areas last week getting below zero in the Northeast. Right now sitting at 20 in Detroit, 28 in Washington, D.C., and 15 degrees in Boston. So a little bit of a warm-up, but it's still cold out there in toward those areas. Now going ahead and getting into those wind chills, what it feels like. Detroit, 4 degrees right now is what it feels like there. Boston feeling like -1. So very cool weather conditions in toward these areas and what it feels like toward your skin. Now satellite and radar does show that we have had some shower activity move across our area a little bit earlier today, but that's moved out for now. But we're going to be seeing some more activity as we get later into this evening, into the overnight hours and tomorrow. As we've been talking about, we could even have an isolated severe threat across our area. Nothing to worry about, but we'll keep our eyes on it closely just in case. Now going ahead and kind of taking a look here at the southeast and closer toward this area, we do see earlier in the day that there was some snow up toward areas just north of Atlanta. That's moved out. Also near Charlotte as well. Again, moving out of those areas. But again, we're watching as we're going to be seeing some more winter weather conditions as we get here over the next 24 to 36 hours. In this pink color, we have a winter storm warning. Some areas north of, talking about Huntsville, Alabama, also around areas just not far from Birmingham as well. We're talking about areas between 2 and 6 inches. The higher amounts to the north and toward areas like Huntsville, and also in Georgia toward the mountains. We're talking pretty close there to Stone Mountain, Georgia as well. Now Futurecast tells a story here as we see some cloudy and upper level clouds here across our area. Now going ahead and taking a closer look at this, we see as we get into 3 p.m. Wednesday, we're going to see some of those showers and maybe even some thunderstorms approach us from the west. Panama City, Pensacola, also out toward Hattiesburg as well. We're watching that for some maybe even some isolated severe weather, but again, not too big of a factor, nothing to stress out about or anything like that. We will have that snow up toward just to the north of Birmingham, Huntsville, talking about areas Starkville, Mississippi, to the north and west, Memphis as well, right on the edge of this. And as we get into Thursday, that's going to clear out and make way for nicer weather conditions here. The snow, the icy precipitation, the little that there is of that will clear out of these areas. Now going ahead and getting into tonight's forecast, we see Tallahassee sitting at 46 degrees tonight. And tomorrow we'll be seeing those temperatures 61 here in the metro area. Much cooler to the north, though, 11 in Detroit. Right now, let's go ahead and take a look, though, at our local forecast with Melanie.
Casey, yeah, thankfully we're not seeing those colder temperatures in the 20s, but we are seeing those more milder temperatures. 52 in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer towards the coast, 59 in Carabel, mid-50s all around, and our temperatures are going to be continuing to decrease throughout the night. Our satellite and radar shows all this cloud cover we had this morning, very overcast conditions. There was a couple drizzles earlier this morning, and there might be a couple pop-up showers on your commute home. But the cloud cover is going to be continuing to prevail as we move throughout the night. Right now, our winds are currently coming out of the northeast, where it's sitting at 6 miles in Tallahassee. But once the system passes through, our winds are going to be changing to a more southerly flow, and that's just going to be enforcing all that rain for our area tomorrow. Here's the system that passed through our area today. Here's some more clouds that are making its way into our area. Now, you may not see the rain on there yet. The rain is not showing on our satellite yet, but we are going to be waiting and watching for that because we're going to be getting more southerly winds, and as it hits those warm Gulf waters, we're going to be seeing more rain. The water vapor shows all this green, which just represents how moist it is. The more green, the more moisture it is. We see this band of moisture just making its way to our area, and that's going to be really impacting our rain chances for tomorrow. Tonight, though, we're going to be staying overcast. This low pressure system and this warm front is going to be making its way into our area Wednesday morning. By Wednesday afternoon, the rain is going to be starting to make itself prevalent. So if you do have afternoon classes Wednesday, make sure to be prepared. It's going to be chilly, so you're going to need those rain boots, those umbrellas, those jackets. Make sure you're prepared for the rain. Now, Thursday morning, there is a few chance of some spotty showers, mostly to our southern and eastern counties, but once behind that front, we're going to be clearing for your Thursday. Temperatures are going to be relatively mild. We're not going to be dropping super much because there is still going to be that clouds, and that's going to be keeping our temperatures a little bit to the warmer side. Now, on the water for tomorrow, it is not going to be the best beach day. We're going to be southeast winds turning south 10 to 20 knots. Gusts can be up to 25 miles per hour. The waters are going to be rough, and there is rain likely. So for the water tomorrow for boating, may not be the best day. Tonight, though, we're going to be dropping to 45 in Tallahassee, increasing clouds. There's a 20% chance of that pop-up shower that could still be lingering for our area. But tomorrow is a big story. Tomorrow is a 90% chance of rain. It's going to be wet and chilly. 58 in Tallahassee, 60 in St. Mark's. Mild temperatures all around. Have those umbrellas and those raincoats handy. So we have the rain chance for tomorrow. Thursday morning, 40% chance, but by Friday and Saturday, we're looking at a much warmer weekend. And next week, the rain will return with our next system. But look at those temperatures. We're sitting back in the 70s. The rest of the week is going to be unseasonably cold, back in the 30s for Friday and Saturday. But we do have a little bit of warmer weather to look forward to. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we're looking very forward to that warmer weather, and we've got some weather history for you today. Isn't that right, Jay?
Oh, yes, we do. But Shane, we're going to take it off to the Northeast back in 1936.
Yes, here's where they got a really fascinating situation where dust clouds coming off of the Great Plains mixed up with some snow showers over the Northeast, and what they got out of that was brown snow. A similar effect can be found when chimneys exhaust smoke into storms. They see black snow. This was a very unusual event.
No wonder why they made weather history for our lovely segment. But also in New England, back in 1962, they saw a mixture of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and severe thunderstorms in the area that caused almost $5 million in property damage.
Whew, that's remarkable, especially in today's money. You don't expect to get severe thunderstorms along with the snow, but it just goes to show that that sort of danger can strike any time, any place.
Yes, that property damage was definitely magnificent indeed. But for a little more, what more magnificent weather we can have, we can take out from magnificent Melanie with our Around Florida.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, taking a look at how drastically our temperatures have changed. Just this time yesterday, we've already dropped 15 degrees, and our temperatures are going to be dropping as we make our way throughout the night. Tri-state area, mild temperatures, 52 in Tallahassee, 57 up in Montgomery, but taking a look at mid-Florida, they're sitting at 68 in Orlando. So those cooler temperatures haven't really impacted their area quite yet. We have all this cloud cover that is going to be making its way into our region tomorrow, and that's going to bump up our rain chances pretty significantly. So tonight, the clouds are going to stick around. Tomorrow, they're going to stick around, and they're going to bring rain with it. Our water vapor map, the more green it is, the more moisture it is. So we had this rain. We had a few spotty showers earlier today. If you made early morning commute, you could have seen a few spotty showers, but the real story for today was all those clouds sticking around. Now, most of our eastern counties out in Liberty and Jackson, they're seeing a couple of showers, but those are quickly passing and quickly dying off. Earlier today, there were some spotty showers in our county. Now they're mostly in Jefferson and Lafayette and Taylor County. So they're still seeing some of those pop-up showers, but they're going to be quickly moving out of their area, or mid-Florida by Orlando and Tampa. Showers earlier today thanks to that front, but now it's passed through and really made its way. And down in Miami, seeing a few spotty showers in the most southern counties, but nothing really to talk about besides that. There's going to be those spotty showers, but tomorrow they're going to be looking clear. But tomorrow for us, well, tonight we're going to be sitting overcast, and as we make our way into tomorrow, those clouds are still going to be sticking around. This warm front is going to start to make its way to our area, and our winds are going to be coming out of the south. So that's just going to be making our temperatures more muggy, and it's really going to fuel this rain. It's going to make this rain a lot stronger, and tomorrow is potentially could be a washout. And as we make our way into Thursday morning, there is still the chance for those pop-up showers, but they're going to be moving out of our area by Thursday afternoon. And behind that, there's going to be some clearing. There is a chance for some clouds still, but it's going to be mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow, it's going to be cool and cloudy for 8 a.m. By 12 p.m., the rain chances are starting to increase into your overnight hours. It's going to be feeling muggy. High temperatures only in the high 50s, so it's going to be quite chilly for tomorrow. Tonight, though, we're going to be dipping down to 46 in Tallahassee, 63 in Fort Myers, 70 down in Key West. It seems like they're not really seeing the cold temperatures that we are at all. Tomorrow, 61 in Tallahassee, maybe a little bit cooler, may not be able to reach those 60s. It's really going to be struggling Fort Myers 78, 82 down to Miami. There's a 20-degree temperature difference between mid and South Florida. We're going to be seeing that rain, that cloud cover, and Miami's going to be looking pretty sunny. Boy, Miami sure is lucky, aren't they, John?
They are. All the way up towards the north. This is the picture in New York City. This is southern Manhattan here. That is ice out in the Hudson Bay and also out in the Atlantic. That is ice just sitting there. Even with the winds, temperatures still there. Barely making it into the 20s today. In 30s, they're lucky they had that a couple days ago because they're not going to see that for at least the next couple of days. Look at the current radar here and the temperatures here across the Northeast, 19 in Albany, 20 degrees in Elmira, 26 down in Pittsburgh. Snow starting to work its way in across the Great Lakes here. That's going to work into the north and east and across the Northeast over the next day or so. Airport delays, we're talking about mostly clear conditions across that part of the area. Cold across the north and east, 28 degrees and cloudy skies in Washington, D.C., 36 in Atlanta, setting up for that sleet mess in Memphis at 34 degrees. Those temperatures will be falling there over the overnight hours tonight. 52 warm spot across the Florida Panhandle right now. Here in Tallahassee, 81 is where everyone in the country wants to be right now. Down in Miami, 65 in Phoenix. A little bit warmer on the west coast for now. That's going to be changing as well. Right now we've got two bands of precip setting up from right around Billings, Montana over into the Great Lakes. We talked about that a little bit here. The second one, this is going to be more potent and more affecting our area across the southern tier of the United States. Here's those bands across the northern tier. Weaker jet stream up there, not really a whole lot of precip involved. You saw a couple of snowflakes across Michigan over towards the Great Lakes and into southern Canada, but really we're going to be talking mostly about this southern stream jet stream here. This is the potent one. This is the one that brought that ice to Dallas yesterday. Across the northern tier, snow falling into Chicago now, Lansing, also into Detroit, into most of southern Michigan here, across most of the Great Lakes. Down towards the south, it seems quiet for now. Snow falling near the Albuquerque region. This is really setting things up for the next couple of days. You can see a little bit of that spin over western New Mexico. This is the next low pressure system. This is going to start to tap that Gulf of Mexico moisture down towards the south, really bringing a lot of moisture south or up towards the north. And this is what it's going to turn into. This is everything here in pink is where they're expecting between 2 and 6 inches of snowfall from Little Rock off towards Atlanta and into North Carolina. Some places near Huntsville, southern Tennessee, places they've already seen a lot of snowfall this winter, seeing upwards of 6, maybe even 8 inches in the Great Smoky Mountains here this weekend. Last storm pushing off towards the Atlantic, just on Cape Hatteras, picking up some rain and snow mix there on Cape Hatteras. Up into Roanoke is where they're seeing all of that snow, and that's where it's cold in the 30s up in that region. 24 for tonight's forecast in Washington, D.C., 28 degrees in Memphis, again with that mess starting to accumulate there in Memphis, and also in Dallas. 46 here in Tallahassee, dry for right now. As we work into the lunchtime hour, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the 50s and 60s and rain starting to pick up in intensity across the Big Bend region. But now we're going to be talking and really nailing down those rainfall totals here in the Big Bend.
Yes, we will, John. We're going to talk about some rainfall over in our area for the capital city.
Yep, this is going to affect the whole Gulf Coast. It's part of a low pressure system we've been talking about the whole show that's going to be sliding its way eastward and bringing with it a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes, and with that low, because all the moisture is getting pulled in from the Gulf of Mexico, you see rainfall is anywhere from almost 1 to 2 inches of rain in locally heavy places that it would normally be heavy at.
Yes, and this will be affecting a lot of big cities along the Gulf Coast, including us here at FSU. So we want to impress upon everyone this flooding safety concerns. If you see standing water, don't try to drive through it. It's just a dangerous situation all around and a bad idea.
But also the upper part of this low is also getting be called Winter Storm Ramus. That is a new winter storm.
Yes, yeah, it's not just a rainfall event, it's also going to be very snowy. But to talk more about the rain, let's throw it out to John at the wall.
Today the story has been the clouds, but there were a couple of showers early this morning in the capital city. You can see a couple of those showers in Jefferson and in Madison County, just south of the city of Madison now. That rainfall is going to move off towards the east during the overnight hours, and then we're going to have to start looking towards the west for our next rainmaker, and that's going to come in, I think, right after your lunchtime activities. So as you're driving from lunch back towards your workstation there, it's going to be on the rainy side light rain here down at the airport. I think we're still clear, mostly cloudy here in downtown here at the Florida State campus. Temperatures still stuck in the 50s, 52 degrees here with high humidity and northwest winds at 6 miles per hour. A little bit breezy in some spots today. But this is what it looked like pretty much all day today. Clouds really sticking around. And this is going to be the story until, again, lunchtime tomorrow is when we're going to start to pinpoint those rain chances as we head through the day tomorrow. 60s out on St. George Island, 59 in Carabel, 59 in Apalachicola. You can start to see a little bit of that cooler air up in Quincy and Mariana as well, up to 50 degrees there in Quincy and Mariana. Again, here's that low pressure system starting to cook over in Texas. You can follow that stream down along I-10 and out into the Atlantic. That's going to start to gain some strength, really a fire hose, really blanketing the area with rainfall tomorrow across I-10. Some spots, again, picking up upwards of 2 inches of rainfall here in Tallahassee. For tonight's forecast, we're looking at 45 degrees with low rain chances right now. Northwest at 5 miles an hour. That's going to swing out of the south tomorrow and really bring in the rain chances again later tomorrow. The worst time is going to be during the evening hours, so that late night commute tomorrow evening is going to be a rough one there. Going to have to almost swim to back to home tomorrow. Not really a washout during the morning hours, but during any of those evening activities, we've got this low pressure system really bringing itself north. That warm front's going to bring in that muggy air down from the south, really bringing in that rain. And here's how we're going to pinpoint it here. Rain moving in mostly in across southern Georgia and then across mostly north of I-10, but we have a low threat of some damaging winds here across mainly south of Apalachicola, St. George Island, and then over towards the Perry region, and then down towards the south as this cool front really swings through. Again, look at the clock here. This is when we're starting to talk about those storms into tomorrow evening into early Thursday morning. So a couple of rumbles of thunder involved in that. And then by Thursday, we're talking about clearing conditions, a couple of clouds left over. But this weekend is looking fantastic. We're going to start to warm up as we head into the early parts of the weekend. So if you have the option of taking that Friday off, I'd recommend that day compared to tomorrow for that day off. Again, marginal threat for some localized high winds here across the Big Bend region, mainly from East Point over towards St. Mark's, St. Mary's, over towards Taylor County, Perry there, the main threat for severe weather there. Here's what we're looking at, very low threat of any severe weather there. And then looking at tomorrow's forecast, we're looking at 58 degrees here. Wet and chilly is going to be the main theme for tomorrow. Now we're going to take a look at some more rain.
Thanks, John. It is a bit of a signal to us now with this wave of thunderstorms approaching that severe weather season is right around the corner. So we do want to impress upon everyone to be sure to break out the NOAA weather radios, because if the severe weather strikes in the middle of the night, we want all our viewers to be prepared.
Yes, especially since we all have classes tomorrow, and because it's also midterm week, we are going to be outside, not outside, but more inside at night studying the night away. So you're going to see a lot more rain, being like a little background noise for all the studying you're going to be doing.
It is definitely a good weather to encourage indoor studying with all that rainfall. Thanks for tuning in this Thursday night to FSU Weather. Be sure to follow us on social media, Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. We make our presence known, or you can watch us anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather.
Where we'll always be online. You can watch any show that we have in the past, or keep up to date with our current shows now.
Yep, we'll be with you through all the storms. Thank you for tuning in. I'm student meteorologist Shane Pendleton.
I'm student meteorologist Kimball. Have a great night, and make sure you stay dry, Tallahassee.